Hi, this is Steve Black. I'm a nationally known author and speaker, and today we're going to be talking about simple social media strategies to build your brand, build your business, and take your game to the next level. I encourage you to turn off your phones and zero in. People pay a lot of money to come and learn these strategies. I run the Success Summit seminar, which you might have heard of over the last decade, touring the country. I was the headliner on that. And then I also run the Business and Social Media Success Series. So that's the best program of its kind. I'm going to teach out of this book today. We're going to be showing you some examples of what you should be doing to be more successful. I just had a lady call me from New Orleans on my way over here. She goes, I registered one of my agents for your program, and she did 5 deals last month. Everybody's asking how she did it. And so she registered her son. So that always makes me feel good, reinforces what we're doing. But with all that being said, I'd like everybody to go to your worksheet, or if you're online, grab 4 pieces of paper. And
to mute yourself, because I've got the mic right there and they're saying there's a big echo. So will you mute yours?
Yeah.
Use our...
That was the issue. Can we turn this off? Because I'm going to broadcast some reels from my computer. Yeah. Let's do it that way.
Mute them, but you make sure I can hear you.
Yeah, I'll be able to hear you right here.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, good. All right. So with that, the AV gremlins out of the way, everybody go to your worksheet and write down my cell number. First off, I live in Florida. I don't live in Utah. I live in Florida. Well, it's the exact opposite of here. Here you got mountains, we flat, right? There you got humidity, here you have dry. So anyways, if you come to Florida, I'm your friend in Florida. I live in the Tampa St. Pete area, which is on the Gulf Coast. And my playground is there to Naples. And it's if you come down and you like dogs, we'll get on one of my boats and we'll have a good time. If you don't like dogs, you can't go on the boat. I had one client, she showed up. I'm like, you like dogs? She's like, yeah. And every time that my dog would come around, she'd push. I go, I have a room for you on the bottom. Anyways, write my number down. It's 407-790-1141. And I'm going to be showing a list of what I call lifestyle success pictures today. All of you need to get this list. If you're online, just send me a text, say pics, P-I-C-S, and I'll send you that. So go ahead, grab your phones if you're online, and send me a text that says pics, and I'll send you that list of pictures I'm going to be showing. All right, write down my social media handle. This is going to be our first lesson of the day. Write down @Steve Black Speaker. And I teach what's called universal branding. It means you're going to have the same social handle on your Facebook business page, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your TikTok, your YouTube. And you're going to own your name as a .com or a version of it. So what's your first and last name? Regan Stuckey. So that should be available. You could just go with ReganStuckeyRealtor.com, or we could go with ReganStuckey.com. You're going to go to GoDaddy. I'd probably recommend buying them both because we could figure out something to do with both of those. And now for the rest of your 30, 40-year career, you don't have to keep telling people I've changed web platforms. I got a different email. It's all going to be the same. It's going to be Regan at ReganStuckeyRealtor.com. And it's a lot more professional than JazzFan04 at Yahoo, right? And believe me, I see it all. Anybody here have a really common name, like a Smith or a Jones? Drew Thomas. Yeah, there's 15 Drew Thomases selling real estate in the country. So yeah, that you found. So Drew, you're going to go ahead. If Drew Thomas Realtor's not available, we'll go with Drew Thomas UT Realtor, but we want to have consistency across our branding. We want to bring a branded hashtag into play. So that's going to be Drew Thomas UT Realtor. He goes back to all the posts he did before he met Coach Steve, and he adds that. Now, when people research him, they start to see all this stuff that he's done over the last 3 or 4 years. Does that make sense, everybody? And 9 out of 10 agents don't have this in place, even if they're halfway decent with their social media. So that's where we're going to start. I'll talk more about branding. But let's go to the gray box on the worksheet. If you don't have the worksheet, everybody, online, just go ahead and write it on a piece of paper, 12-month goal. And your new year starts today. I want to make 200,000 this year. I will make 300,000 this year. I will make 500,000. Set a good, high, realistic goal. 200,000 with prices the way they are around here, like average price 550. I mean, I'd have to do the math, but I don't think it's more than 18 homes. I know 18 homes at 400 is 150 a year. So I think we might be able to get in there with 16 or 17, right? And that's just 1.5 homes a month. And all of you can do that if you work. And what I mean by work, you have 5 conversations a day with homeowners 4 days a week. I can't make the strategy any simpler than that. Who talked to 20 homeowners in the last 7 days? Can I see a raise of hands? 2 of you. Okay, thank you for your honesty. Everybody write this down. Goya, G-O-Y-A. Down in Florida, we have a lot of Hispanic population, and there's a whole section for Hispanic foods. Goya is beans, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying get off of your anatomy and let's figure out how we're going to talk to some homeowners. And I'm going to show you simple ways to use social media to jumpstart your conversations with homeowners. A lady said yesterday, Steve, I'm not techie. I go, this isn't tech. This is adapting to what you want to do, which is talk, be more face-to-face. So with all that being said, write down a 5-year goal. Write down a 5-year goal. Make $1 million, make $2 million. What's your goal? Anybody know how to get those lines off the screen? Somebody wrote on the screen. Yeah, see those yellow lines? Claire, if that does it. There you go, I got rid of it. Graffiti, I didn't think we had graffiti in Utah. All right, write down make $1 million, $2 million. I got students make up to $2 million a year that I work with. They're making 10 million every 5 years. I had one guy actually made a lot more than that on one deal. Sold a $5,500 million property off market to a famous couple. Anyways, put down 2 90-day goals. First 90-day goal in the next 90 days. How many listings are you going to take?
Is it supposed to be first 90 days, second 90 days, or 2 goals within 90 days?
Total. I see you on the streets of Utah, August 5th. You're like, Coach Steve, you really motivated. August 8th, you say, Coach Steve, you really motivated me. I was able to get 6 listings, I was able to get 9 listings, or I was able to get 12 listings. I got students that call me crying if they ain't doing 2 a week. And I'm like, well, tell me about your week. And it's like, well, my dog was sick. I had to take, I had a lot to do with the kids. I'm like, everybody has that. Pros figure out a way to organize their calendar so that they have the conversations with homeowners. And then put down another 90-day goal. How much you gonna have in a contract in 3 months? I see on the streets of Lehigh on August 9th, you're like, Coach Steve, I had a quarter. What's it look like volume-wise? If you sold 2 $550,000 houses a month, we're looking at 3.3 million. And I keep throwing that out because I think that's about what the average purchase price is here. It might be slightly different. All right, who set a goal to do better than they're doing? Let me see a raise of hands. Who out there on Zoom wants to do better? I know Derek wants to do better. Kim wants to do better. Come on, Rick, get your hand up, baby. All right. All right, everybody put your hands like this. Put your hands like this. All right. If you put the left thumb over the right thumb, please raise your hand. If you put the left thumb over the right thumb, please raise your hand. All right. Our research shows you're more intelligent than the average person. Congratulations. All right. If you put the right thumb over left thumb, please raise your hand. What's your name? Sure. Our research shows you're the sexy people in the room, right over left, all right? Everybody put your hands back together. Flip your thumbs around. How's that feel? Strange. Feel sexier? Right. Anytime you try to do something different in life, it's going to feel different. Like you see other agents doing reels. but you're like, I don't like the way I look on video. Anybody other than me doesn't like the way they look or sound? Please raise your hands out there. And the reality is you start doing it and then you get good feedback and you're like, you know what? It wasn't so bad. First time in my 10-year career, I had somebody tap me in the shoulder at the market and ask me a real estate question. It's because they're seeing what you're doing. Does that make sense? And those reels can be on Facebook. They could be on Instagram. I was over here in Lehigh yesterday at doing a broadcast. Oh, somehow I lost my thing. No, I'm the one making graffiti. All right. So I was doing I had an opportunity over here and I just fired up this reel. Let's take a look at it. In the short time I've been here. Today it's a little cloudy, but it's really gorgeous. And I wanted just to talk to you about how important marketing is in this economy. You've got to double down on your brand. With artificial intelligence, automation creeping into every area of our life, you've got to know how to leverage it. And you've got to know how to position yourself as the go-to that a machine can't replace. DM or text me, and I'll get you more tips on success. 407-790-1141. So not rocket science, but the couple things there. Where do you start? You start by filming a video. So the first thing I did, I filmed a video. I saw the beautiful snow-capped mountains. I just fired a video. Second thing, you upload it into Instagram. Third thing, you go through the process that I show you. You add the captions. I then downloaded it to my phone. I continued onto Instagram, posted it, put it on Facebook, put it on my business page. Checked in today, and between the three platforms, I have almost 1,500 views without doing much, except adding hashtags. So this is how you're going to get exposure, whether you're talking about what's happening in the market or you're showcasing properties. Does that make sense? Reels are the one thing where they're going to show it to people that don't follow you. Up until now, you know, you had to go out there, build your following. Now you got your following. They would only show it on your business page to maybe 2% of the people unless you advertise. Hey, I got a hack. I'm going to go ahead and post it on my personal. And you thought it was working. You put your listing on your business page. You got 0 likes. You put it on your personal profile. You got 20 likes. But if we look at it, it's your mom, it's your daughter, it's your sister, it's your best friend. It's not who we're trying to reach. So there's certain strategies that are going to work. And we'll talk more about Reels later and how my students are using it to blow up their businesses. But let's write down these 5 things, everybody. Write down number 1, personal branding. Number 2, social media. Number 3, video marketing. Number 4, quality content on a consistent basis. Underline the word consistent. You think most agents are consistent or wildly inconsistent? You got it. A lady from Orem the other day signed up for my social media success series. I said, why are you signing up? She goes, because it happened to me. I go, what happened? She goes, I've been in the business for about 15 years. I ran into a client from 8 years ago at the supermarket who was shocked to see me. I said, what do you mean? She goes, she heard I died. I said, oh my, it's horrible. She goes, Steve, that's not the horrible part. The horrible part is she just sold her house and bought a new one. I go, what that cost you? She goes, over 15 grand. I go, why didn't she look you up? She goes, I'm the one who hasn't posted on their business page in 18 months. She assumed the rumor of me dying of COVID was true. She goes, I'm not going to do everything, but I'm going to take your social media calendar. I'm going to get my daughter to help me. And I'm going to quit making excuses. I'm going to start this stuff up. I know that cost me 15 grand. I don't want it to cost 15 grand. So, you know, you change in life out of pain. She was in pain. Or you change out of pleasure. You're like, hey, I know I need to do this. I'll do anything to get better. That's probably the kind of person you are. You wouldn't have built this unless, you know, you're always looking to improve. Hey, we're doing good, but how can we get better? So with that being said, as I said in the video, you got to double, maybe triple down on your personal brand. Why are they going to go to you versus going to homie? I'm driving down the street and how stupid, right? But, but people are going to believe that. They think, by the way, they think you make 30,000 when you actually make like 8. You know that, right? So I teach you a strategy where you draw a circle, you cut it in half, you show it's 15, 15. Then you draw another slice. Now you're showing them you make 9. And you know what? Every time I show that to a homeowner, they're like, I wish my agent explained it that way. So, you know, when we get into negotiating for commission sales, there's a whole lot of agents in Utah that have never had to sell real estate because real estate sold itself over the last 8 years. Now we're in a normal market where, you know, things are selling, but they got to be priced right. And you got to know how to deal with objections and uncertainty. So with all that being said, personal branding, social media, video marketing, quality content, and sales. So I'm going to take you inside the masterclass on, here on, shut that off. I don't want anybody seeing that. So I'm going to take you inside the masterclass on personal branding. Let me see if I can find that here. So this is one of my favorite courses for agents to go through. It's fun to go through this one, you know, because it's just kind of thinking about you, right? What do you like to do? You know, what's your background? Who do you click well with? You know, how would people describe you? You've got, write this down next to personal branding. You got to find your niche. And your niche might just be that you're the Lehigh luxury real estate agent, right? But it might be more specific. Like this gal here, she's a senior real estate specialist. When we show up at her Facebook page, when we show up at her LinkedIn, this is what they see. Is there, if a senior shows up here, is there a connect or a disconnect? Connect. And she might have gotten them there by posting content about Medicare deadline. She might have interviewed the local assisted living facility, highlighted him as their senior business of the month, right? But people are here and they're like, hey, honey, I think we found a really good agent for us. Let's text her and see what she has for us. I looked you guys up. You have some good stuff out there, but this was one of the areas that was really lacking. I saw pictures of kitchens, pictures of the mountains, pictures of houses, a logo. One of you had it, not necessarily you guys, but one agent from Presidio had it missized. That's a good way to make a bad first impression. People are going to research you even when they're referred to you. True or true? They're going to type in your first, Drew. What's your last name, Drew? Thomas, UT, realtor, right? And they're going to, you're in control of what comes up. Do they find one of the other 4 or do they find you? And are they impressed with what they see? You come to a party at my house, my maid knows, get the house ready before the guests arrive. Step 1 of social media is, and I talk about this in overall social media strategy, is number 1, make your profile look great. Number 2, connect up with everybody you've ever done business with on social media. Number 3, you don't have to write this down. I just want to give you a visual. Content strategy, you know, then post what people care about. You'll have access to all these modules and you go through them, you know, some of you'll go through 2 a month, some of you go 1 a month, some of you do 3 a month, but you'll find the time by the pool, at the kids' ball games, in the passenger seat of the car to get this done. And when you get it done, now you're not guessing, you got the right answers. Luxury, great market, right? Pays more. But as the higher up you go, the more competitive it gets. This gal, she's 28 years in the business, says, Steve, I don't want to deal with 550 credit scores looking for double wides, and that's what Realtor.com's sending me. I said, well, let's brand you, and at the core of it, write this down next to number 1, lifestyle success pictures. Look at this gal here. She's out of Texas, brand new real estate agent, got her license in November. She's sold 5 or 6 homes since then. When people look her up, do you think they say, oh, she looks new? No, they tell her, wow, we like the way you market yourself. She says, imagine what I'll do to get you top dollar. Okay. Veterans, I don't know, you know, if there's anybody online, veteran, you know, that's a great niche, right? You still sell to everybody, but everybody knows you in town that you're the one that really gives back to the veteran community. And Facebook and LinkedIn, they have groups of people, Utah veteran business owners, 20,000 people. Somebody already gathered them up. All you got to do is an interview with the loan officer talking about the programs that are unique for veterans and first responders. People will love it. Anyways, who's got a branded hashtag they use with all their social posts that's unique to you? You're the only human on the planet. What's yours? Okay. So, as long as that remains unique, you know, somebody else might like it and start copying it, you know, and then all of a sudden we kind of defeat the strategy. The strategy is like I'll take you over to LC's profile on Instagram. Our brand new agent out of Houston. Actually, let me take you over here. Another brand new agent. So, you know, you get your hashtag up there, and then as people research that hashtag, they see all the stuff that you've posted. Both of these examples, by the way, are what I call a killer bio on Instagram. When I looked up a lot of the agents from Presidio on Instagram, I actually saw some that I was calling secret agents. I had a coach with me and I go, secret agent, because you looked at their profile and you didn't know that they were in real estate. And here's how the young people in this world judge us, the people under 40. If you're not on Instagram and you're not active, you're not relevant. I was just in California. They heard I was coming to Utah and Texas. They said, oh, if you find a good agent out that way, let me know. I'd say, why? Oh, I got people relocating there. I need good agents. I said, what's important to you? Number one thing I heard from agents under 40 was they're active on Instagram. Kind of shocked me because I'm a Facebook guy. I said, what difference does that make? They said, if they're not on Instagram, I wouldn't refer to them. I go, why? They go, I just don't think they're relevant. They wouldn't do a good job for my customers. They're old school. So everybody stand up if you would. If you're online, go ahead and stand up. We're going to do a little survey here. So if you don't have an Instagram, please have a seat. If you don't have an Instagram, please have a seat. Awesome. So everybody in the room has an Instagram. Not sure about you guys out there in Zoom land. So if your Instagram does not have a bio that tells me who you are, what you do, where you do it at, Utah-based realtor, mom of 3, avid snowboarder, right? All that's good. But I want to know you're in real estate. I want to know how to contact you. Please have a seat. Okay, so those of you that just sat down, your goal in the next 14 days, so put down A14, is to set up a bio. Okay, killer bio. What do you do with it? Super simple.
This website.
What? This website company. I would love it. I would love it there. I would love it. I love your branded, but I want the other stuff. I want your phone number. Did you know how, as a pretty girl, how we keep the creepers away? You get a Google Voice number, and that's the number. They send you the wrong picture, they're out. Okay. All right. And then you have your family still reach you after hours. You got to think about this stuff. Okay, so those of you that are still standing, if there's anybody in the room that doesn't have at least 12 pictures, please have a seat. Good. And if you have an incomplete Instagram, like 2 or 3 pictures, it's worse than even having an Instagram. Because if I look at that, I'm like, they definitely don't use this. I'd rather not find you than that. So of those of you still standing, if you don't post at least times a week on your grid, hopefully do a daily story, please have a seat. All right, so I just lost most of my audience in the room. So everybody that just sat down, write down, that's your strategy for the next 4 months. Post 3 times a week on your grid and a daily story if you can. Now, those of you still standing, what's your name? We got 1 person left in the room. If you don't post 2 reels a week, please have a seat. Let's give Heather a hand. She's headed in the right direction. All right. So with all that being said, Lacey, you got your hand up. I think it's just to acknowledge the questions. All right. So I appreciate the interaction. So with all that being said, I want everybody to have a great looking bio, a nice picture. Why hers is aesthetically pleasing. She's been very strategic about the photos she's putting up. She's not using a lot of filters. She's kind of keeping like the Architectural Digest, the whitewash filter. You've got highlighted story covers there. We're going to talk about those. Did you have a question? Yeah.
Business, or do you like to...
Great question. So we'll talk about that when we actually get to the Instagram page. I just wanted to start out the conversation. But the answer is that for most of the people in this room, 1 account, maybe half personal, half business. I want you in 50 to 70% of the pictures. Like I said, we're doubling down on you. And what's going to get you more engagement? A picture of a house that says sold, or a picture of you with your sold sign and the clients? Obviously the latter. So there's a strategy there. I want pictures of you hiking. I want pictures of you biking. I want pictures of the snow-capped mountains. And then I also want to know you're in real estate. Does that make sense? Okay. So with all that being said, let's go to the second page of your workbook. If you don't have this, just go ahead and draw a line down the middle of a piece of paper. So Facebook. The minute I mentioned the F word to a group of young agents yesterday, Facebook, I got hands like this. And they started going like this, Coach Steve, Facebook's not cool anymore. I said, why? They said, it's for you old people. I said, you're absolutely right. But I got news for you. Guess who owns most of the real estate around here? People over 40 or under 40. And so now it goes from being cool on TikTok, listening to a man's voice, which is your 14-year-old strategy, to going, hey, mom, this will get you 100,000 views. It might, but it might not help you, people think of you in a better manner, to going ahead and putting out quality content. So with all that being said, there's two sides to the fence on Facebook. Kind of what she was asking. Should it be business or personal? Instagram's going to be a blend. Facebook, it's kind of separated out. Left side, write down, you can have up to 5,000 friends. I'd like everybody to connect up with as many people as possible. And this is where I get pushback. People say, I actually have to be friends with my clients. I'm like, why wouldn't you? And not just have them like my business page. I'm like, why not? Well, I'm private. I don't like people knowing my business. I said, we adjust for that through using the friends list feature. So one of the things you do while you're sitting there, you know, watching a rerun of Friends or something, you go ahead through your friends and you ask them, are they clients? Are they prospects? Are they other agents that are local? Are there other agents out of the area? And now you can be uber efficient with your marketing. You deliver the right message to the right person. Why put your brokers open on the on your Facebook personal when would it be better to just target that to the agents rather than bothering your consumer friends or your friends in California about it? So anyways, your ultimate goal is, like I said, as I opened, was to talk to more people on the telephone, to get more listing appointments, to get more showings. So unlike direct mail, Facebook shows us who these people are. So I'm going to go into a module that I originally called How to Use Your Facebook Personal Profile as a Rolodex. Corporate made me change the name because nobody under 30 knew what a Rolodex was. True story. So now it's called How to Generate Referrals, Leads, and More. But you'll still hear me call it that. First thing, you don't work at Presidio. You work at your business page. Your position is realtor at Presidio. I would put down what part of town, Presidio, either Salt Lake or Presidio. You could niche down to Lehigh. I just put, I put realtor at Presidio Realty at your business page. Your goal is on Saturday morning when they hover over this, they send a message. I want to know what my house is worth. That you get that message Saturday at 9, not Monday at 9 when the admin comes in. Does that make sense? I call this keeping people in your ecosphere. Next thing, you're going to want to go ahead and write down, I want everybody to post 5 times a week for the next 4 weeks. That is not a wow. That's I'll do it. Really? Is it that you don't use social media or you're more active on Instagram? Okay, this is not a great thing. This is I got a beautiful Cinco de Mayo, and I've got a beautiful Mexican meal in front of me, and I post a picture. I tag the restaurant that everybody knows, like Milagros, and then I ask a question like, "Hey, did you have Cinco de Mayo? Did you have Mexican food today? Comment below." And now all of a sudden, 50 of your friends jump in. I did. I love that place. Try the chili relleno. No, it gives me heartburn. It doesn't matter. You're looking to create engagement. Question. We're just Facebook personal. I want 5 a week for the next 4 weeks. I want you to kick the algorithm into gear. They have, what's your name again with the orange top? They haven't seen you in a while, all right? So when you show up, they're going to be very cautious. They're going to be like, I don't know what Regan's doing here, right? Has she been hacked? What's going on? So they're going to sneak you out. When you go ahead and you're there 3 times a week, you're a trusted commodity. They're going to do this. This works across all the networks. Question.
Yes, when we do this, so like, for instance, I'm Facebook and every day, and I've got Jen's super great at it. She just did a restaurant the other day. But anyway, but I tend to, once I like something on somebody, then I tend to only get their stuff.
That's how the algorithm works. And so this is why well, you could take control of your news feed. I have modules on that. You could tell it Facebook to show you more of this stuff, less of this stuff, block that person. All that can be controlled. But let's look at it from the consumer perspective. Our goal in this room is, how do we sell 3 times as much real estate as we're selling? So you're going to put up stuff not about real estate, but about life. So let me continue. 5 posts a week for the next 4 weeks. And I want 4 out of 5 to be about life, not about real estate. So for Regan, it's a picture of her Mexican meal. It's a picture of the snow-capped mountains. It's a picture of your dog on the couch. It's a picture of your kids, heading out to school. And then it's write this down. Tell your story about being in real estate. Those lifestyle success pictures, I didn't actually get that far. These, right? Taking this list of pictures. And again, if you guys want this list of pictures, send me a text, 407-790-1141. You guys as well. I want this on your phone. And then now your marketing ends up looking more like this and like a messy closet. So maybe 1 out of 5 posts is a lifestyle picture, right? It's a picture of you holding a sold sign. It's a picture of you careful with this one, putting a light in a chandelier, telling the story of everything that you do to sell homes for the most money in the least time. You know, in a new build with the view of the mountains, taking advantage of that and getting a picture of you putting flowers in a vase. We want to get lots of pictures of you, and then we're going to sprinkle them not only on our Facebook personal, our Instagram, and our business. But this might be 1 of the 5 pictures.
And personal and business.
If it relates to business. So we did 5. The 1 there, I would use your branded hashtag. Good question. Yeah. The other 5, why I don't want you hashtagging the picture of your dog, unless it's part of your marketing. And I do have clients that have it as part of their marketing. But with that being said, you've got to have an open mind as well. I was up in about as far north as I can go without hitting Idaho last week. Like Logan, was it? Yeah, it was Logan. And this agent in there, she looked at this. She goes, Steve, I don't like to dress that way. And I said, well, how do you like to dress? She goes, I'm a country girl. I like boots and jeans. She goes, I go, what do you sell? She goes, a lot of land, rural property. I said, get on your tractor with your computer and your cell phone and let's tell your story of selling rural real estate. So your picture should be representative of your life, and just you. But, now your social media can look a lot better and get a lot more engagement. So with that being said, let's, again, go deep dive into Facebook. So of the 5 posts, 4 are going to be about life. 1's going to be about business, tell your story. The right side, this is where your business page, your goal is to make it look great, like the ones I showed you earlier. Number 2, grow your following to over 1,000 followers by the end of the year. There's nobody in this room that if I gave you $1 million wouldn't make that happen. I'm not going to give you the $1 million, but make it happen. Now you've got a competitive advantage against other realtors. Drew, somebody says, well, listen, I'm thinking about going with an agent. I just want to get your opinion. You're like, I respect where you're coming from. I go, that agent's got 90 followers on social media. My business page has 2,000 followers. They're like, what's the big deal, Mr. Social Media? You say the big deal's this, your house can sell for $580 or it could sell for $550, depending on the visibility. We're not in a market where you just put a sign in and get bids above asking. It occasionally happens if it's priced right. So take my advice, let's get you going. And that's why I'm worth 6% while your friend's worth 5%. All right, it's a selling proposition. More than that, remember the 5-year goal of making $1 million or $2 million? You've now made it really easy to stay top of mind with the people you've met and done business with. One of your new intake questions is, by the way, are you more active on Facebook or Instagram? Great, I just sent you a friend request. Oh, great. We'll stay connected. If you're on a cruise ship, I'll be able to communicate with you. That makes sense. 2 days later, invite them to like your business page. By the way, if you have one, I'll like it back. There's strategies to grow your audience. Who has a business page? Who has over 1,000 followers on their business page? Okay, one of you. Good job. It's not easy. Here's strategy. I talk about this in a module called Content Strategy. I shared 13 different ways to grow your audience. Here's one for you. You're having an open house. Don't just have them sign in to win the gift basket. Have them follow your page. You pick up 20 followers a week. At the end of the year, that's 1,000 followers. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's like a six-figure thing, right? Because now you're connected to them and they're going to see your monthly market update. They're going to see when you highlight that local business and all this other stuff I'm going to teach you to do. That's why I showed you the graphic. Make your stuff look great. Here's look great, everybody. Brand new agent. Not him. Yeah. Let me see. The one I showed you earlier. Brand new agent. Does she look like a brand new agent? No. This is a template in my members area that will work with your Canva. What that means, you click a button, it'll pop up. You now drag 4 pictures, your picture, and change the phone number. 10 minutes if you're slow, 6 minutes if you're fast, box is checked and it looks great. Then what do? You resize that image and you put it out there on your LinkedIn. Now that you met the wife, she's sweet as cherry pie. She tells her husband, who works at Delta, the corporate guy, hey, found this great gal, Reagan, thinking about listing the house with her. He says, let me look her up. He gravitates when he sees the listings towards LinkedIn because that's what he does. He says, oh man, she looks amazing. Yeah, go with her. Do what you want. And that's how it goes down. But I looked you guys up on LinkedIn and guess what I saw? Blank. Some of you still say you're a teacher, you're a software engineer. I'm like, did I find the right person? Yeah, it's definitely him. It's definitely her. All right, so let's go to Instagram, 3rd page. Instagram. This will come a full circle for y'all now. Instagram. Number 1, first question I get all the time. The one question she gave me, kind of, right? Do I need 1 account or 2 accounts? For most of you, I recommend 1 profile set up as a creator account. Now, there are exceptions. I had a 22-year-old realtor yesterday. I go, how long have you been on Instagram? He said, since I was 10. I said, are the people you're connected to buying houses? He goes, probably not for a few years. I go, we're going to set up a new Instagram. You're going to make that private so I don't see all that crazy stuff you're doing. And then we're going to set up one for the other people that are researching you. But for us, why dilute your following? Let's mix it up. Let's make it half personal, half business. 50-50. So a lot of times when people join my program, they have an Instagram, but it's set up as a personal account. So you have that option, go into account settings and adjust it to be a business account. Then it'll give you 2 options, professional, which is more for a retail store, and creator account, which gives us all options that are good, nothing that's bad. So let's go in that direction. I'm going to show you an agent right here in Lehigh who's been getting 100,000 views. That's how she has it set up. And then remember I said own your name as a .com. Doesn't that look better than that big, ugly, long thing that the website company gave you? Okay. All right. What are these called? Story highlights. So I had a lady the other day, she pushed back. She says, Steve, I'm not going to do the highlight thing. I'm doing social media as a necessary evil. I don't even like it. She goes, I'm not doing your story thing. I said, why aren't you doing my story thing? She goes, because how much action can I get in 24 hours and then it disappears? I go, I felt exactly like you did. But what I realized is pressing 1 button, I go from 200 people viewing it to 500. She goes, really? I go, really? Because I'll probably do it then. I go, why? She goes, I want my listing to be seen by 500 people, not 200. And I go, you can make it last forever. I go, you're going to set up what I call story highlights. So those little circles, let me show you where you get them. So those of you that move forward, you log into your members area. I recommend you do this part. You can do it on your cell phone if you wanted. You can do it on your laptop, but you go under here where it says templates. You have 5 different categories. These are 84 different social media holidays. The ones I'm showing you right now, the Instagram story highlights. You're going to add these to your account. If you want to change the color to gold and blue, it's just a couple clicks. And now you've got the little circles. Then your job is to populate the circles like Elizabeth did here. So Elizabeth signed up with us a couple years ago. She made her stuff look good, you know, drank the Kool-Aid, followed the process, right? I remember we have an option to have a one-on-one Zoom call where we answer all your questions one-on-one, show you what's right, what's wrong, point things out. It's awesome. She did it. She says, Steve, what's one thing I could do now that my stuff looks good? I go populate your sold highlighted story. She goes, why am I doing that? So when you go on a listing, you're pre-selling people. She goes, oh, I'll do it. So now when she goes on a listing and somebody says, I want to be upfront with you, I'm interviewing a couple other agents. She says, let me send you a link. You'll be able to see all the houses I've sold. I'm telling the other agents, I'm not doing anything until I talk to Elizabeth. So you go ahead, just set it up, you populate it, and then you just text that to people. And now it would open on their phone. So that's just one strategy. The other strategy, write this down. What's your first and last name? You got that common name, girl. Right. Well, you know, that's Lori Anderson, UT Realtor, right? Or it's sold by Lori Anderson, UT or something. I think you're following this one in the corner, yeah. But here's what we have to look at when we start looking at this. So let me see. If I go to hash, this is how you do the research, by the way. Your hashtag's your Utah home. Okay, let's see if anybody else is using that. Well, so far you're good. All right. So if you're going to use that, then you'd want yourutahhome.com, your Utah home on your things. But, you know, the reality is people aren't Googling that. So maybe we go with Lori Anderson, UT Realtor. But where I was going with this was sold by Lori Anderson or sold by Lori Anderson, UT. So now beyond the link, they could just look up that hashtag. That's where you go back to all the posts of the solds and you add it to it. Okay. But anyways, a couple of ways to demonstrate us. Now, here we are, and I got to wrap this up in the next 10 minutes, but you're at IG stories, highlighted. I just talked about that. And now we're at IG reels. So for her, she can jump straight to doing more aggressive reels. For the rest of you, you're going to get your profiles looking great. You're going to grow your audience, and then we're going to really work on integrating reels. So what would you do? Here would be a great strategy. Who has a digital social media calendar set up? No? All right. So if you don't have a calendar set up, you're shooting from the hip. So I'd like everybody in this room to get a digital social media calendar set up in the next 14 days. And I will tell you, that's probably the least fun thing in the whole world to do, which is why you haven't done it. Now, for those of you that move forward in the group coaching program, I'm going to give you first people online, the first 5 people online, the first 5 people in the room. I'm going to give you this calendar as a bonus for this year, next year, and the year after. Now you don't have to spend 10 hours setting it up. You might spend 30 minutes customizing it. I was just in Houston. My students add stuff about the rodeo, you know, but you want hype. Maybe you add stuff here about the Tulip Festival, you know, about the festivals that are happening this summer. Maybe you put the hot air balloon event in Park City on the calendar for October. Maybe you're going to go ahead and say, I've been going to it for the last 5 years. It's an amazing event. This is where you get tickets. People that stuff, and they're just reminded that you're in real estate. Does that make sense? All right. Great question. So ideally, this is your Facebook business page calendar. With that being said, some of you don't have the audience for that. So a lot of students will take different components of this and bring it to where they need to be at. So if you're really targeting first-time buyers, average buyer in Utah is 35 years old. They aren't on Facebook. They are on Instagram. So you're going to take some of this, and that's applicable, and you're going to move it to Instagram. but this would be a good framework. Like these reels, I would do these reels on Facebook business page, and I would do them on Instagram.
Yeah, so that's different.
Oh, okay. So this will work. Our digital calendar would work on any platform. There's a uniform file. It's called an ICS file, whether you use an Outlook, Yahoo, your iPhone calendar, it'll upload and work. It works with getting us really confused. So first thing, you got to set up the calendar. It works on all platforms. Second thing, you're looking at this and asking yourself, okay, Coach Steve said, let's do reels twice a week. You click on it, and this will give you some ideas for what your reels are. 3 parts to reels. How do I push buttons? Write down, that's the first 22 minutes of our class called Deep Dive to Reels. That's where you sit there with your phone and your Instagram open, you watch the video, you pause the video, you find the button we reference, you're like, I know how to do it. I've been asking my 15-year-old for 4 years how to do it. He says, Mom, it's easy to do that, right? So now you got the answer. So first part, you figure out what buttons to press. Second thing, what do? You figure out what are you going to talk about. So I'm going to bring you to that right now. And then the third part is how do I get the most distribution? So here, these are what's working right now for my students. I just had Tiffany Obar. She was on yesterday's class. She did one about the 8 best communities in Dallas to relocate to. She picked up 3 $1 million plus buyers out of California off that one video. This would be really good. What's 250 buy here? What's 500 buy? What's $1 million buy? Feel free to change the prices. In Austin, Texas, we made it $500,000, $1 million, and $2.5 million. Who wants some listings? Could I see a raise of hands? Okay, no teleprompter needed. What's your name? Pam. You're going to just go out there and you're going to do a 90-second or less video. And when I say less, a lot less. I want 15 seconds to 50 seconds max. The one I showed you earlier was about 40 seconds. If I could turn it down to 25 next time, I will. I was just showing off that I had beautiful Utah. So you're going to film a video. You're going to get yourself a light ring. It's going to hold it eye level, slightly above. And you're going to talk to the camera. And no, this is Pam. No, I'm with Presidio. No, I'm in Utah. She will scroll right past you. You got to jump right into it. Hey, thinking of selling your house? One of the questions on your mind is, should you pay? But it depends on the color, condition. Here's my number. DM or text me. I'll give you an honest take. More importantly, though, if you paint are the colors you choose. There's 3 trending colors buyers will pay a premium for. Don't paint your house the wrong color. I have them right here on my phone. I'll happy to get them. Every time you post that, you're getting 3 to 20 inquiries for the paint colors. That's good now. That's good in 2025. That's good in 2027. If you do this right. I have young people do that video, but they say in 2023. Well, it's not good to bring it back to life. But they don't care. They like doing this stuff. We don't like doing this stuff. All right, let's do another one. Anybody serving the investor niche? Investors. Sorry, I talked. Do one about 1031s. Hey, what's a 1031 exchange? It's basically how rich people get richer. Do this. These are the things involved. Here's my number. Every situation is different. Hit me up if you want some answers. When they fish hit that, big fish. Hey, we inherited these 3 properties in the city. We're sick of managing them. We want to buy a place in Park City. We use a 1031. Here, buyers. Why not do this one? How long does the home buying process take? Right? You're dealing with buyers. They're saying, when I find a house, what's it take to move in? So I'm going to show you a realtor. I actually discovered her. She's in my program now. She helped teach the Reels Masterclass. She's right here in Lehigh. And I discovered her because she was doing these reels that I really like. So I don't know if you know McCall or not, but let me play this.
So how long does the home buying process take? So from the time that you go under contract on your home to when you can close on your new home, it's a
classy, nice. People are going to think better of you versus worse. Not the 14-year-old strategy, lip sync to man's voices. Another one that when I interviewed her, she says, I'm going to do a lot more where I'm talking, and I'm going to do a lot more of the market updates. Now, she recently had a baby, so she's taking a little hiatus here, but here.
Okay, if you're wondering what's been going on in the Utah County housing market over the last.
Write down, always use captions. That's going to get you more engagement. I'll show you before I leave. But I told you earlier, film the video, upload it into Instagram, and then we'll add the captions. I'll show everybody after the session.
So on TikTok, do you recommend Reels over TikTok?
So here's the deal with TikTok. The demographics, young people love it. You know, your average age here is like 19. If your strategy is to reach older people that own property or 35-year-old buyers, what I would suggest is you start filming on Instagram versus TikTok. Because if you do it on TikTok, you're going to get the little TikTok logo. And I'm fully aware there's an app that will take it off. But why add an extra step? That's just an extra 90 seconds to try to get it done. And a few dollars a month. So let's just film them on Instagram from now on. Your 14-year-old wants to film them on TikTok. No, Coach Steve wants us to do it on Instagram, and Instagram copies TikTok like so fast. So the other thing you see here, like she did this one, got 111,000 views.
Pretty girls walk like this. Pretty girls walk like this.
Yeah, there you go. And I've got a lot of their agents in my program now, all learning this. So you're going to see in Utah, since I showed up, a lot more people are going to be moving in this direction. You're either on the train or you're not. So I kind of want to wrap things up, everybody. Go to the front page where it says 5 things you must master. And I want you to grade yourself honestly. If you're online, just, ask yourself honestly, how are you doing at the things we talked about? Now, our scores are 2 to 9. Nobody that showed up or virtually or in person is a 1 because you learned some stuff today. The ones are the other 420 agents that didn't show up. I'll pray for them, but they were too busy to get their knowledge. I have a lot of agents. Oh, I'm too busy. I'm like, well, let me teach you ChatGPT where you don't have to write MLS descriptions anymore, where you don't have to write your social posts. It'll do your research. It'll write your video scripts. Oh, okay, I'll get around to that. No, you're going to do it wrong. Do it right.
That seems like you use ChatGPT. Didn't seem like your personal.
What is it?
Just a
well, okay, so we'll all right. There's haters, but the reality is there's solutions. You get to, like if I did a blog article, I would take it over to Grammarly, have it rewritten, and they're definitely not going to get that. But there's just a couple things that you could do. But a lot of people don't even know how to do that. So with that being said, question. I've got to wrap this up, and then I'm going to hold it for questions because I do want to respect everyone. Oh, where are you seeing it? Oh, fear, false evidence appearing real. Nobody likes the way they look or sound on camera. When I was in my 30s, I worried what people thought. When I was in my 40s, I didn't care what people thought. Now I'm 55. Nobody's thinking about me anyways. Don't take yourself so seriously. Nobody's getting out of this alive, right? So the reality is get past your fear of being on camera. My challenge to everybody, write this down. I want everybody to do at least 5 videos every month, reels where you talk, and 5 where you don't talk. 5 where you don't talk, stuff like this. 4,700 views because she's using a good trending sound. It's short. People are taking screenshots. Yes, Instagram knows. And then the other 5, talking about topics that your niche cares about, whether that's investment, luxury, etc. So let's go back over to the front page, grade yourself. And I just want to leave a little time here just to teach you about sales. So I have about 10 hours of my sales training in the members area. Before social media, people would pay a lot of money to hear myself, Brian Tracy, Tom Hopkins, Zig Ziglar teach sales. I was the young guy in the group. And I'm going to give you 4 words here that in my 35-year coaching career, it comes down to these 4 words. These are the best 4 words you could ever say to a client. Write down the words, the next step is. The next step is. What's your name in the back there? Amy, so you're showing a house. You're tempted to say, what do you think? Instead, I want you to turn on the emotional light switch. You say, Steve, what'd you like most about the house? I say, I love that I could see the mountains. It's awesome. I love my backyard. You say, what else do you like? I love the open kitchen. You say, Steve, it sounds like we're on the right track. You see the head nodding? Body language. I go, yeah, I really like the house. You say, if you like it, the next, what are the words? No, the next step is, do you want to write a full price offer? Maybe we come in a little above asking, make sure we get it. I say, I like it, Amy, but I think it's overpriced. Now you have an objection. Objections are good, not bad, if you know how to deal with them. So let me teach you how to deal with them. Write down 1, 2, 3. Number 1, you empathize with it. And I've got good news for most of you. Guess what women do naturally? Empathize. Men try to fix or answer it. So Drew, get in touch with your feminine side. Someone says, hey, I think it's overpriced. You say, thanks for being upfront about that. No, I'll run comps, all that junk that men like to do. Second thing, you question it. So Amy, you say, Steve, appreciate you being upfront about that. How much, too much do you feel it is? You question it. And then step 3, Amy, write down SHUTUP. Which is hard for some people. So I look at her, she looks at me, I don't know, 20,000, 25,000 overpriced. So what does she have to do at this point? She has to keep the momentum going, bring me back in. So she's going to use this phrase, write this down. If I'm understanding you correctly. She says, Steve, if I'm understanding you correctly, you really like the house. And if it was 20, 25,000 less, you'd consider it. I go, I'd probably buy it. But I don't want to overpay. You go, I totally appreciate where you're coming from. So the next step would be, let's write an offer you're comfortable with. Do you want to come in at 555, or maybe you come in at 550, work our way up? I go, I'm thinking more like 540. No selling, no arguing. You got to use what's called, write this down. You're going to use the alternative choice combined with the minor agreement technique. So she's going to say, Steve, if they accepted the offer, would you want your closing on the 1st or the 15th? If I agree to that, I've agreed to write the offer. Does that make sense? If you're on a listing, you don't say, do you want to list with me? You say, we have brokers opens in this. Do you have any questions about what we talked about? Any questions about my plan to get your house sold for the most money in least time? They're just about ready to get you out the door. You say, if you move forward, we have brokers opens on Wednesdays. I could schedule for the 7th, or I could give you an extra week schedule for the 14th. No, I definitely need the time. Great. Do you have somebody that can help you with the punch list, or do you need me to recommend somebody? And you're getting the listing without ever having to say, do you want to list with me? So we're back to a world where you have to know how to sell in order to make money. Because how much do you make if you almost sell a house?
0.
Can you go show 5 houses and say, hey, I did 5 good showings, give me 1,000? It doesn't work that way. So with all that being said, give yourself your sales score. And I want to wrap this up with registering you guys for the program, okay? So let me show you what I have for y'all. And before I do, go to page 4. Here's your new morning routine. I want everybody to start tomorrow by jumping out of bed and say something positive to the universe. So write down positive affirmation. Everybody stand up if you would. Stand up. I got to program everybody in this room for success. You've been watching the news. They tell you things, the economy's slowing down, bank crisis, world's coming to an end. Shooters in Allen, Texas, all that. That's not going to help you make your next $10,000. So everybody with confidence and belief, say, this year will be my best ever.
This year will be my best ever.
Believe. Everybody say, if it's meant to be, it's up to me.
If it's meant to be, it's up to me.
Say, I am responsible. Say, social media is easy. Say, I'm amazingly consistent. I'm a video queen. All right. Everybody have a seat. Closing machine. All right. So say something positive. Number 2, drink more water. I'll do 13 of these presentations this week. I got to keep my health up, my energy up. My secret, I drink water. And then every morning I exercise for 15 to 30 minutes. So slow walk in your neighborhood, you might meet some homeowners. You live in a bad neighborhood, walk fast, but get out there. Fourth thing, feed your mind something good. Quit reading the newspaper, quit watching the news. I was interviewed on a podcast. I said, what's one thing people could do? I say, shift their focus from the news to marketing ideas. Grow, learn, and gratitude journal. Keep one, teach your kids to keep one, teach your grandkids to keep one. Guess what happens? Your family's destiny changes for generations. 1% grow every day. 444. I want everybody in this room to read at least 4 books this year. Readers are leaders. Second 4, audiobooks, podcasts. Take your drive time, turn it into education time. When I drove to Logan, they're like, will you go up there? I go, sure. Gives me 4 hours in the car to educate myself. And the last 4, learning programs. Most of my students, half of my students, more, they come in, they're like, I'm doing Tom Ferry, I'm doing Brian Buffini. I have 2 people last week signed up. They're doing Krista Mashore, $23,000. They're like, I wish I found you. I go, why? They go, basically, module 13 and 14 is your video authority video strategy, which is what she's taught us. And you're not $23,000. In fact, my program is the best value on the planet. And the way I'm going to price it today for you, it's a no-brainer. So here's your goals. Everybody write this down. I want you to set up a digital social media calendar in the next 14 days. For anybody that moves forward today, first 5 people online, I'm going to include that for 2022, 2023, 2024. So you'll save yourself 30 hours having a digital marketing calendar in place. Second thing, you're going to revamp your profiles in the next 30 days. That means you're going to make the covers look great. You're going to make the bios look great. You're going to make the descriptions, which I haven't even talked to you about, so the algorithms find them. Those of you that move forward, I'm going to include as a bonus all the templates. And the last thing I want everybody to do is record 5 videos where you talk in the next 30 days. And you're going to do that every month for the next 4 months. So you're going to get 20 of these recorded. And if you don't do it, that's your choice, but it's going to cost you probably $250,000 to $500,000 because you're going to sell at least 1 less house every 6 months, every 2 months. And when I invite people to join us in the journey to get better, once a month live masterclass, members area, Facebook group for referrals. Sometimes they'll say, I don't have the time. I'm talking 2 to 4 hours a month, probably 3. Yesterday, we went 1 hour, 27 minutes. So you do the live class, you do another class. If you miss the live classes, by the way, they're recorded, they're put into your portal. I fully know you'll catch, 5 live, 7 on recording. That's cool. And then the money, it's $5,000 for 2 years. It's not like these other people charging $10,000, $20,000 a year, like Tom Ferry, though he's very good. My program, here it is. First 5 people to register today from the room and first 5 online. You're getting it for a total of $599. This is the $5,000 coaching program that people rave about. I'm here to create some success stories in Utah. I'm a household name in Texas. I'm a household name in Florida. In my 30-year career, this is my first time doing anything in Utah other than skiing. So you have a chance to be our next success story. I did the math. I told the company they're not charging enough. This is $25 a month. We charge you up front because you give you all the content and tools up front. If you need to finance it, you take the $600, you break it up into 6 installments. We do $100 today. It's actually $99.84, something like that. And then we do it every 30 days. If that's above your budget, you do the 8-month program. You'll be in it for 2 years. We'll finance it over 8 months. It'll be $74.88 a month. If you're broker than that, it takes $59 a month to get started. If you're broker than that, have a garage sale. You've got something you need to sell and you'll feel good doing it, right? This ain't money. This is commitment. Because how many sales do you have to make in order to get your investment back? And here's what you do to get your investment back. There's a group of 2,700 agents that around the world, the best agents in the world that are in this group. And you come in the group, and when you see the welcome post, this is where you learn, by the way, between the monthly classes. This is where you get to see examples of what other students are doing. Are they gone?
No.
Oh. Everything. You're going to get everything. So everybody, I'll just tell you online, and I'm going to stay here for a few minutes explaining this. For those of you online, you go to successadvice.com, okay? That's the website. You order there. If you want installs, they don't offer installments there. You have to text me at 407-790-1141. Tell me, do you want 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 10 months? I'll get you the instructions. One other upgrade is right here. If you check that yellow box, you get a one-on-one strategy call where we talked one-on-one on Zoom. I record it. I show you what you're doing right, wrong. If you want to have your daughter, your virtual assistant with you, we can do that. It's amazing. It's normally $750. You add it on today for $500. So if you did our best package, which would normally be about $5,800, it's $1,099. If you don't want to do the coaching, you just do the basic program, but do something because it will help you. And if anybody needs to kind of kick the tires, think about it, pray about it, talk to your spouse. You have 72 hours to cancel it. So take action, get registered, get a login. If you don't like it, let me know by Friday. Steve, it ain't going to work out. I'm like, bye-bye, good luck. I wish you luck. We're still friends. So the live classes are the second Monday of the month. Write down, they're always, so it'll be June 12th, 10th or 12th. Anyways, it's the second Monday of the month. I think it's June 12th. And it's 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Time. So you have a standing appointment with me the second Monday of the month. If you miss it, it'll be recorded and put into your portal. What you'll do to get started, I'm going to email you from my, I'll email you and I'll text you from my private phone. You saved me under Coach Steve. Part of this whole program, Pam, you get stuck 2 months into it. Steve, I ran an ad, it got rejected. What'd I do wrong? I say, send us a screenshot. I get it to our ad coach. He will figure it out for you. He'll either make a video. We've occasionally even logged into people's accounts to help them with stuff like that. You're doing a logo. You're like, Coach Steve, what do you think about it? You text it to me. I say, I like it, but let's post that one in the group. And that's like, you come over here. Mandy says, which one do you like? I go, I like 3 or 4. Let's ask the group. And she had 142 people involved in the commenting on that. You know, this is an example of a new agent down in Houston taking the template and doing a great job with it, in my opinion. Just that alone will transform your business. So who got something out of today? Could I see a raise of hands? Who's thinking about moving forward and being a part of the program? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's what I want you guys, and I'll those of you that want to do it online so that you get a spot, put reserve me one with your cell number in the chat box. What we're going to do, I'm going to get a list to the owner. First name again? Jennifer. I didn't know to call you Jen or Jennifer. So I'm going to get Jennifer a list of everybody that's participating. And what I want you to do is set up an accountability group in the last week of the month. And that's how a boutique agency is going to get really good results. Jen's going to be part of the program as well. So I'm going to be working with her on what you guys need to do. She's going to set up a Zoom meeting once a month or in person, even better, where you guys can come in, bring your phones. Hey, I tried my first reel. It didn't work. What I do wrong, and you guys can help each other. So I mentioned do 1 non-talking, 1 talking. I'm also going to give you templates that who here could upload 6 pictures for me if I gave you $1 million of your next listing. So once you have that in place, you're going to have this list on your phone. And let me show you what that looks like. You're going to put this on your phone. I'm going to text this to you as soon as you get registered. And then you're going to go ahead. Let's say you have a nice listing, 600,000. You want to put something up that won't offend people, but still going to go ahead and be effective on Reels. You just upload your 6 pictures or video clips and you have this. I've made this so even 80-year-olds in Florida can do this stuff. So everybody, the order form is on the last page. Go ahead and fill that out. I'm going to stay here in the building for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Put your name, check the top box. That gets you 90% off. Check the second box. That gets you the coaching call if you want it. Total it out either at $599 or $1,099. If you're online, either go to the website, successadvice.com, get it while it's still there. Or text me if you need installments at 407-790-1141. I'll send you your welcome email. I'll text you from my private phone. I'll get you your Instagram templates that you can start using immediately. And then I'll have you join the Facebook group and watch a quick 10-minute video. This is tax deductible for y'all. You'll get a receipt. Enjoyed being with y'all. Thank you, everybody. So fill out the form.